Hey, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Jorma Duran Show. I'm your host, Jorma Duran, and that's right, they gave me my own show, and it's a show that brings the who's who of mid-Michigan to the studio here, and I want to get to know them a whole lot better. And today's guest, I want to get to know him a whole lot better. I've seen him in pieces over the past few years, and I'm excited to talk to him. Let me introduce you to Grant Hendrickson. I know you as an entertainer, like a local celebrity, but you're a hard worker too. But hi, how you doing, my man?
Jorma, so good to see you. Thank you for having me. Excited to be a part of this new project.
Yeah.
You've got your own show, dude.
My own show. They let me do it.
You're rising star.
I know, right?
And I feel honored to be considered maybe one of mid-Michigan's people you want to talk to.
You are who's who, and I'll tell you why. So let me tell this him. He hasn't heard this story, but because of what I do for a living, I'm certain places here, there, and everywhere, and I kept seeing him. And then we had you onto our show, on the morning show, because of a project that you've been doing over the past 4 years. But I don't know. I don't really know. So we go to this, my wife and I go to this event, this March of Dimes donation event, auction event, for good. It's a good thing. And man, someone is jamming. Someone is playing the piano, and someone is singing. And I tell my wife, Natalie, let's go. Who is this? We come around the corner, and it's you, man. You were bringing the house down.
Thank you.
And I didn't even understand. I thought, wait a minute, hold on. I thought he was just this guy. You're not just this guy.
My life has been very interesting. I grew up in Wisconsin, went to the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I'm a Badger. I'm in Spartan country, I know, but I married a Spartan. That's how I got here. But did a music education degree, wanted to teach, did my student teaching. I was like, don't want to teach these kids. I want to go to LA. I want to live the dream. Did the singer-songwriter thing, waited tables at the Ivy, got to meet a lot of very cool celebrities. Then ended up singing professional a cappella around the world in the Cat's Pajamas vocal band. And that's how I met my wife. She was performing with Second City as an improviser. And then moved here because we couldn't afford to live in Chicago on artist incomes. And this is where she grew up. And then I had an entertainment company called Entertaining Productions. We were doing mostly wedding entertainment, but also parties and corporate events. And, giving up your Saturdays and Sundays throughout the summer took its toll. But I've been working at Brogan Insurance now for almost 12 years, doing employee benefits consulting. So that's my day job. I work with the community on trying to provide, the best benefits that employers can for their people. And then 4 years ago, I started Share the Music Foundation, which is my give back really to the community to bring national artists here to the capital city. And pay them what they deserve, but to bring talent to our town, Grand Rapids, Detroit, we kind of get skipped over here in the middle of the state. And so all the proceeds from the concert goes to nonprofits, and the last few years have gone to the Community Music School of MSU's financial assistance program to give kids access to affordable music lessons and therapy. So really proud of that. And so I've kind of taken more of a producer role. But I still enjoy singing. And I tend to sing mostly at home now with my 9-year-old daughter and my wife, which we can talk more about as well. Because you have a daughter that loves to perform as well.
I have 1,000 questions just based upon that last 60 seconds. I want to rewind all the way back to the beginning because you went to school for music. You didn't just entertain. You went to study it.
I was undecided. I'd done music my whole life. I've been singing since I was 2. My parents have tapes of me singing, songs as a little boy, and then started playing piano at 5, and then played trumpet and got to Wisconsin, played the marching band for a couple years, and then I saw this sign up that said audition for voice lessons, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I've never had formal training. Went into the audition room, was the entire voice faculty sitting there, all like, what are you going to sing? And got in with the baritone professor, Paul Rowe. And after one lesson with him one-on-one, I was like, I learned so much. I wanted to teach. So ended up going through that whole program. I've taught privately. I taught piano lessons in Chicago, and I've done a lot of substitute teaching over the years. But I have so much respect for teachers. My dad was a teacher for his entire career. And I just had I had a desire to actually give performance a shot. And we know how hard the entertainment industry is. But it's been really fun to see a lot of my friends that are still in the business, really ascending, friends on Broadway, awesome. Doing international tours. Some are getting nominated for Grammys and doing extraordinary things. But it's fun for me to have kind of my hand still in the mix.
For sure.
My wife teaches acting and theater at Michigan State University, so she's around it. And but it's really hard to monetize.
Yeah.
Really, really hard. You know, you think about all the artists that are making really nothing off streams.
Right.
The way you make your money now is on touring. Mm-hmm. And so it's nice to not have to earn a paycheck from it, but I love it. And whenever I get a chance to bring in an act to Lansing, if they invite me on stage to sing one, like for me, that one song I get to do, you know, with a big time band is really fulfilling for me.
Well, you have toured. So let's keep going back in the day. Because the Cat's Pajamas, correct?
Yeah.
Now, is that an acapella? Were you still hanging on with that acapella?
It was acapella before acapella really became mainstream.
Okay.
So this is before Pitch Perfect, before Pentatonics. Yeah. And it was, you know, 2006 to 2011.
Okay.
And we were touring the world on cruise ships, you know, been to 50 countries. And we come on the ship as the guest entertainer performing in the big stage. Yeah. And we were blowing people away. It was 4 of us. And so one of our guys did beat bass at the same time. So he was like, boom, da, boom, da, at the same time. And then we'd sing songs and we did pop covers from the 50s to present day. And people just couldn't believe that 4 people could make this sound. And then obviously acapella has just kind of taken off. And so there's something magic. It's almost like a magic trick. Yeah. You know, if you're at a bar and all of a sudden someone finds out you're an a cappella group, guess what they're asking you to do?
I know. I was going to say,
sing for us.
Right.
You know, if you say, "Oh, I'm a stand-up comedian," tell me a joke, right?
Be funny.
But when you do it and you basically blow a pitch pipe and you start singing, people are just like, they can't believe this is possible. So it was really special. Was in Branson, Missouri for a year. I don't know if you've ever been down there.
I actually lived in Jefferson City for a short little time, so I know that's entertainment land.
Dude, 40 theaters, 120 shows,
Oh
all the timeshares. You're going around singing, like begging people to come to see you.
Right.
And after a year of that, my wife and I, we weren't married at the time, but we were like, 1 year's enough.
Yeah.
And then we started our own entertainment company, Entertainment Productions, to rep talent and produce shows. And so it's been a wild ride. And then when we got married, I ended up becoming a music director for Second City. So I was the guy at the piano, and my wife and I did some touring out on cruise ships with Second City. And now here, largely I'm a cheerleader of entertainment. I love to celebrate the arts in so many. I mean, the Wharton Center is doing incredible things. And just trying to play my small part and trying to make this a more vibrant community.
The Second City, if you don't know, it is like, whoa, in terms of improv, acting, Chicago-based.
Yeah.
I would say the majority of SNL characters, some of the famous ones, came from there.
Yeah.
So you're in like Hall of Fame land.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the halls of Second City, most are name brand, people.
Yeah.
Everyone from Bill Murray to Chris Farley to Tina Fey, Colbert.
Yeah.
The list is extensive, so it was really cool to be a part of that and really learn a lot about the art of yes and that can be applicable to everyone's life in terms of how we communicate and talk to one another.
Well, and that's what your wife somewhat teaches too, improv.
Yeah, she does.
Which is interesting because I always thought that improv is just almost natural.
No.
You can teach it?
It's learned.
Wow.
So the thing that the incoming freshmen do is because they can't audition for shows at, Michigan State, my wife brings them in as their freshman showcase is now MSU Unscripted. And so that first semester, she's teaching them the rules, the ins and outs of improv. And then at the end of the semester, they do 5 shows.
Wow.
And they go from not having any experience to becoming actually pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of bad improv in my day, even in Chicago at Second City.
Right.
These kids really, it's a skill that you can learn, and there's rules to the game. So when you start a scene with someone, you never start with a question. Yeah. You start with a statement, and then you would say yes, and then it goes from there, and it's really fun, and they build camaraderie, and then her goal really is to take these kids and teach them how to become a working actor, not just getting education. Like, how do we take this? How do we get an agent? How do we go off and work in the business and in such a changing landscape with all the social medias?
Right.
She's had students gone on to just become TikTok famous.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways we can figure out how to monetize it. So it's really fun to see her thrive and have her students blossom.
There's so many questions in my mind right now because you just brought up TikTok and people getting kind of famous or well known off just doing their own little thing. Well, I don't know how old you are. We'll get to that later. But to me, I worked hard. I went to go get a degree. I went to go do it, and be famous. And then it's like, wait a minute, that guy did nothing. He just, YouTubed himself. But that's interesting. You could teach it now.
You can. And I think creating content like you're doing now with the Jorma Duran Show.
Yeah, look at that.
I mean, dude.
They even spelled it right. Look
They
at
did. That means they care.
All right.
No, I think there's just the ones that are willing to take risks and fail. I mean, failure in this business, it happens more often than not.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of times you thought you had an opportunity and then it didn't work out. So you need a thick skin. You need to believe in yourself, and you need to say yes to opportunities, even if it's something small. I can't tell you
100%.
how many times have I sung for my supper. Too many, right? But you learn every time. You grow. You create relationships, and now I've got friends that are crushing it in Nashville. Home Free. They're America's #1 country a cappella group. So many people that have done so many incredible things, and it's inspiring. But it's a tough life because you're on the road to make your money. So I like sleeping in my own bed.
Yeah, it's sometimes nice. Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I'm trying to tell my daughter that because both our daughters are trying to be in the entertainment world, and I tell her all the time, no part is too small. Not at this stage. Do it all. Learn it all, and you of course are going to get beat down and not get that part. And weirdly, as a dad, and because I've been in this business, there have been 2 times where she tried out for something, still got a part in the play, but didn't get the part. And I was secretly happy because it made her, thankfully, it made her motivated to want to keep going and not be like, well, maybe this isn't for me. And it's like, no. If you want to be in this business, all the jobs. Yeah. And don't be afraid to get beat down because you're going to win at one point. So when you were telling me that, I'm like, that's what I tell my daughter too.
Be thankful for any opportunity. And one of the things, and you know this really well in your business, people want to work with nice people. People want to work with people that work hard. They try hard. They're fun to be around. Yeah. And so we've done that with Maddie as well, where, if she auditions for something and doesn't get it, it's like, you know what? Celebrate the person that did, but we keep working. We keep having fun. We want it to be fun, right? If you're 100%. Not having fun, then what's the point?
You want to get paid for something you want to do every day. Trust me. Now, we're going to talk about your daughter in just a second, but we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And Grant Hendrickson is on the Jorma Duran Show. We are rocking and rolling. We can't stop talking. And before we went to the break, we were going to bring up his daughter because his daughter, his wife, him, they're in the. I feel like your house. If I were to visit, if there were cameras, are you all singing around the house?
We are. Like it is a real thing, and we've got a piano, and so Maddie started playing piano now, and instead of me saying like, hey, it's the day of your piano lesson, you have a practice. Now, the last few months has been fun to see her go to the piano a few times a week and learn not just to play, but to sing. But yeah, I mean, every night in the shower, she's belting, dude. Nice. I mean, and we're talking, Wicked is, all these big Broadway songs. She loves Broadway, like your daughter does. And so, we sing in the car on the way to school. She's DJ. She commandeers the phone. She's running point. But we love music, and it is our connection. People ask, like, is she in voice lessons? No, I mean, she's just singing with us, and we try to demonstrate good, healthy singing. And we've started talking about placement and those kinds of things. But it's special. We're so blessed, and she's so kind and supportive of others, and so
they're doing. Kudos to the parents. Now she's acting as well. She got a big part. Yeah. And was it a reoccurring part or just one time?
One time at Chicago Fire.
Tell us more about that. How'd that happen?
Well, my wife's agency that repped her when she was in Chicago acting, all of a sudden started to see some videos of Maddie singing. And like, does she want to act? And we're like, let's ask her. Yeah, sure, why not? So she started to get some auditions for, some big, opportunities, which, it's really difficult to land. But then she got this audition for Chicago Fire. And she read the first scene. We submit. It's all those auditions now are really self-taped at home. You send it in. Yeah, after the pandemic, you record at home. You send it in. Well, an hour later, they said, we want her to read the second scene, submits it, and then they said, does she have a work permit? We're like, no. Like, well, you need to get one. And, does she have a trust bank account set up? Because there's a law now that requires kids to have a bank account that their parents can't touch. And so we got that in place, and they said, once we said we have the work permit from Illinois, they said, we need you in wardrobe tomorrow. So it was just it was season 13, episode 1, and she dropped the bomb on the episode. So yeah, family gets in a car accident. Her parents are messed up in the front seat. She's in the back, and she divulges that, or should I make them watch it?
Well,
she basically says,
I didn't know what to say right there.
She basically says, Dad crashed us on purpose. It was time for us to die.
Wow.
And then the rest of the episode, they're like trying to figure out like what happened.
Right.
And then there's another scene where she kind of divulges, and it was special. And then she's done an independent film where she was in a scene, and then she did a national Wendy's radio commercial for the new kids meal.
Yeah.
And then she's had some really big auditions. She got an audition to play Brad Pitt's daughter next year in a film, got called back from the casting agency in LA, didn't get it. We're thankful, because that would be life-changing, and we're not quite there yet. We're not ready for that for her.
Right.
We want her to be a kid.
Right.
And so it's one of those things where we just want her to enjoy it. We want her to have a childhood. And so these little one-off things are great.
Yeah.
Or like a local play or those kinds of things. It's great.
Yeah, and that's what she's ultimately doing too. Is she getting involved with some local theater or anything like that?
A little bit, yeah.
bit.
She's
She's still super young. I mean, right? She's going to be 10, right?
She's going to be 10 in February.
Wow,
So
yeah. I mean,
we're just
because I have a 9-year-old. To thinking he was be going to New York to try to audition with Brad Pitt or something like that, I'd be like, you're right. I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah. So ultimately,
but it's something you see in the future. It looks like she's interested.
she is, and for now, until she's not,
Yeah.
and that's okay. She loves the Wharton Center Take It From the Top camp.
Okay.
That's her favorite week of the year, where they bring in the Broadway talent to work with the kids, and it's an incredible week. They learn group numbers, and then they get to audition for solos. And she sang "Burn" from Hamilton,
Wow.
She blew it out of the water. She went viral on
neat.
Instagram, and people are like, "Are you going to start a YouTube page?" I'm like, no, we're not. Like, we just want her to be a kid, and so.
Well, you're going to be a kid too, because you have something cooking with golf.
Yeah,
I saw. I was what do you call it? Doom scrolling. I'm like, wait, that's Grant. What? What's going on? So what is going on?
So me and 9 other buddies have always loved the game of golf, and we decided to open up an indoor facility in Frandor called Strokes Gain Golf. And actually, we just got the permit yesterday.
What?
And we are going to be open basically the weekend before Christmas. So it's a 24/7 facility, 4 bays, the biggest bays in town, using TrackMan technology, which is the best, which the PGA Tour uses.
Yeah.
And you can rent by the hour. There's membership options, and then there's going to be leagues and events and corporate options, and you can bring in your food and drinks. And so it's just a kind of a passion project, but we're right in the center of town.
Yeah.
Actually, just across the street.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll get you a hookup.
I may have to. Listen,
the hookup.
so I'm going to ask a really stupid question. So ultimately, you're playing around the golf, right? You're hitting it up against that sheet, the wall.
screen, yeah.
And you can see it go. Now, are you playing in like famous golf courses?
Famous courses from around the world.
See,
so you want to go,
I lived in Chicago. When I lived in Chicago by myself, the Wii had just came out.
Yeah.
And I had Tiger Woods. And I was good, and I played it all, but I haven't played since maybe now, because I would love to do that.
I think we should bring you over. We'll do a little, a social media post, and maybe we'll do like a Beat the Pro challenge. Like, you'll be the pro.
Oh, well, no, not the, I'm bad. Oh.
Beat the celebrity.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
we'll do a little par 3 shootout. There's cool games
I'll
on
be
there.
part of it, but
there's target games for the kids, so it's like a video game,
fun.
like where you're hitting the ball and screen. But you can play the best golf courses in the world. So like if there's a PGA tournament somewhere and it's that weekend, you could play the same course as the PGA tournament. We got the TV on. You can be watching the pros, and you can be playing the same course as the pros. So super excited about it. I grew up playing golf as a kid at a small town course, a little 9-hole rinky-dink thing. It was $90 for a kid to be a member. And my sister got in the golf business.
Really? Okay.
A lot of friends of mine were in the golf business, still are in the golf business. And I've worked at a golf course mowing the grass as a kid. I've been a bartender at golf courses, but never been a part owner of a golf business.
Right.
So for me, it's kind of a dream come true. And So yeah, you got to come
I'm
spend
gonna
some
have
time.
to check it out. Well, he just reminded me of another story because we were caddies
Oh,
for
yeah.
auction. We got auctioned off or whatever the case may be.
We were celebrity
Yeah.
caddies.
So we got to hang out for maybe 5-10 minutes, but we went off. Anyways, we're golfing. I never told you this either.
No.
I didn't know anything that you knew anything about golf either. So he's really next to us in a sense. They're hitting this way and we're hitting that way. I see you hit a bomb. And plus you're so tall. I mean, how tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
Yeah. So it was like, waka! And I was like, oh my God. So I didn't realize you were in that golf game.
I love it. It's kind of my release.
That's fun.
For me, and people, sometimes are like, I don't know if I want to play with you. I'm intimidated. I love to play with anybody and just get out there, the social aspect, the lifelong game. When 4 years ago, I got really crushed by COVID. I was in the hospital for a week. It was the 2021, spring of 21. It was the second wave, the Delta variant.
Wow.
And I was in Sparrow for a week and, lost 20 pounds, was, hoping to get out, hearing all the people around me pleading for their lives. And so I fortunately made it out. And it was shortly thereafter where one of my buddies from back home put together a dream golf trip where we went out to Bandon Dunes. And it was a year to the day where I got out of the hospital that we got to Bandon. Wow. We walked 36 holes. Wow. And I got to the 36th hole and I started crying because I could breathe 100%. And I could walk. And so I have an appreciation for living life, living the dream. And so every year now we go on one big dream golf trip. My wife has been so supportive and she's like, yes, you must do this. And that's something I encourage everybody is like, don't wait, do it now. If you've got something you want to do, get after it. Well,
now you see, you're talking to a reporter, you talk about COVID, what was that like? Because we all had that fear, you catch it, and then you're thinking, well, I got this.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, what was that moment where you're like, I got to go to the hospital? What happened?
Night 7, my oxygen, a friend of mine, one of Sarah's colleagues and one of our good friends, she brought over an oximeter and like a care package, like day 3 after we tested positive. And she said, just check your oxygen, throughout the days because she lost a young friend, like a 30-year-old friend to the virus. And we're like, and so night 7, all of a sudden I'm like kind of getting short of breath. I was like, my oxygen was dipping into the 80s. Did an online visit, like, yeah, you need to go to the hospital. And I wanted my wife to come because she also had it. And turned out she had COVID pneumonia. They sent her home because her oxygen was good, but they kept me. And, I ended up staying there for 6 nights and then even came home on oxygen support. And it was such a crazy virus because for some people, they didn't even know they had it. Yeah. And then others obviously got crushed. A lot of it, I believe, is, due to blood type, just in terms of how our bodies react to it. So I've done a lot of research about that, but scary, scary time. And 100%. I've been a healthy dude my whole life. Right. I'm now 43 and you would never expect that to have impacted me the way it did. So I'm thankful every day.
Yeah.
And, to think about how crazy that couple years was. And that's really what started the Backyard Bash was like, you know what? I want to give back to this community. Sparrow has saved my life. They've saved my daughter's life. She was on life support at 12 weeks old with RSV. Wow. And so whatever we can do to try to make the world a little bit better, to give back, to help all these wonderful nonprofits in town that do such great work, and to have a little fun along the way.
Well, and you've kind of talked about this throughout our interview, but let's talk about that Backyard Bash a little bit more because that's something that you're going to continue on, and ultimately you're bringing in talent into our area, concerts, correct?
Yeah. So, it's interesting because we are the capital city. We've got Michigan State University, and yet, we struggle to get big name artists to come to this town. Now we've got some great new venues here in town that are doing wonderful things. But for me, it was just a way of trying to get us back. So we do it as an outdoor concert series because, the science said it's hard to get COVID outside when we were starting this thing up. But we've, part of our mission is to give back to local nonprofits, but also to make these national artists affordable. So usually tickets are $25. But we couldn't do it without the help of our corporate sponsors. The local community has really rallied around this, and MSUFCU has been our title host sponsor the last 2 years in their beautiful backyard. And so it's just something I want to keep going and keep taking to that next level and just have an opportunity to come together and enjoy live music right here in our backyard.
That's awesome. Well, listen, we just have a couple more minutes. We didn't even get to the Jorma's Wheel of Question. We got to do at least one.
Okay.
All right, so listen, we got a bunch of categories, right? So high school, random places, this or that. You pick. We'll get to that in a second. Would you rather, deep, first, all-time faves, and you can ask me a question.
Ooh.
I know. Go ahead and spin
all right,
it.
spin it. I feel like I'm...
Is that a good enough spin? Was that
It was.
All right, spin that thing. There it is.
Let's go.
All right, what is that?
This or that.
This or that.
This or that.
I got it. This is easy. This is about as elementary school as you could possibly get. It's this or that, man. This or that. All right. Dog or cat?
Dog.
We
have a cute Havanese. He's 12 years old. And
Hava what?
Havanese.
What's that?
Hypoallergenic, a little white dog, kind of like a little poodle type thing. It doesn't shed.
Oh, that's
so
perfect.
you could be wearing your black pants, have our dog Miller on you, pet him, and you won't have a single hair on your pants.
Wow.
So
I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm gonna have to because my son wants a dog. And it was funny when I was growing up, when I always said to myself, if I got a dog, I'd get a Doberman. Well, now I'm liking the Havana or whatever.
Havanese.
Yeah,
just get yourself a little white dog that's hypo. So if you have friends that are allergic, say, don't worry about it. It's hypo and doesn't shed. Great, fun, easy.
That's
easy
awesome.
dog.
Do you say pop or soda?
Funny story. I used to say pop when I was in Wisconsin. I moved to LA, started waiting tables at the Ivy, a very famous restaurant in Beverly Hills in Santa Monica. And the first time I said, would you like a pop? And they about laughed me out of the restaurant. They're like, where are you from?
Right.
You ain't from around here. I'm Wisconsin. Oh, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So I say soda now because I was scarred from my waiting tables
away
experience.
from the pop. You know, I say pop, but both my kids say soda, and it's like, where did you get that from? I don't understand.
Maybe they've been spending time in the South. I don't know.
Are you a soup or a salad guy?
I always go for the soup, dude, especially wintertime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close for me.
Yeah.
Give me soup. I'll go to Soup Spoon and get the soup flight.
Great.
So
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of soup.
Now, all soups, or is it like you like clam chowder or more like a
I don't discriminate. I definitely like a Hardee's soup.
Yeah.
You know, give me a seafood chowder.
Yeah.
Give me a baked French onion, a Wisconsin cheese guy. Yeah, for sure. Like anything that's like big flavors. You know, chicken noodles fine, but yeah, give me something with a lot of flavor.
pizza or tacos?
Pizza, I could eat it every day. What's your favorite pizza place when you order in town? Where are you going? Or can't we mention it because of advertisers?
I can, and here's why, because I can answer a few ways. There's nothing. There's something about a Jets pizza,
dude.
There's something about a Jets
Detroit style all the way for me.
Yeah. There's a Pepino's, which when you're in a bind, it's just down the road.
Yep.
And I'll eat that. You know, it's funny. There's really not any bad pizza, I think.
Agreed. Yes.
No, what do you get on your pizza if your choice? Whatever you get.
If I can, I'll go meat lovers.
Yeah.
But usually it's just pepperoni cheese at the Hendrickson house.
All right, we really ran out of time, so let's go these really quick. Movies or books?
Movies.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Flying or road trip?
Flying. Get me there quick because I'm busy working at Brogan all the time. So I need to maximize vacation.
Day or night? Are you a day guy or a night guy?
When it comes to golf, day, but in the entertainment business, we usually work at night.
Guy.
We're a night,
right?
I'm
a night guy.
Yeah.
And last one, time travel or teleportation?
Teleport would be pretty cool.
How
about you?
I think I go time travel.
Yeah?
I want to go back.
You want to go?
I do.
Where? If you could choose one time.
I don't want to get super, super deep because if I could go back in time and maybe change some things, then that changes the answer.
Okay.
Because there's couple of things. I tell my wife all the time, there's been a couple of times in my life where, whoa, that completely changed the direction of my life. And would I go back and change that?
Yeah.
Would I? I don't know.
Well,
because I like my life now.
Maybe another segment of the Jorma Duran Show could be like the Jorma Duran after hours.
Yeah, I know.
You know, where like
Trust me.
you have to watch the extra 5 minutes
Yeah.
of like you actually going into time travel, like where you'd go back to.
Yeah, well, we may have to because we're so out of time right now. We're probably already cut off. Remember we were talking
Yeah.
before? The show's just going to end. We ran out of time.
This isn't even going to be seen right now.
Well, listen, thanks for being on the Jorma Duran Show, man. It was awesome to talk with you. And hey, we may have to have a part 2 because I'm not done. We didn't even.
Let's do it at Strokes Gang Golf.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. We'll
We've
have to
got great
take this on the
couches in
road.
there. Let's do it. Road show. Awesome.
Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me today.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching the Jorma Duran Show.